Now, who, may you ask, is an enemy? Enemy is someone or something that represents a threat. A threat to our security, our livelihood, our freedom to make choices in the manner we choose. Now, people who have looked at this over the years will point out that in order to have enemies, identified enemies, and mobilize those who would serve in a military capacity to fight against them in wars. What's required is to emphasize the otherness of human enemies, and to not see them as fully human, and not to identify with them or extend any empathy or compassion to them as you would to a fellow citizen, family member, anyone else in civil society. You have to see them as really in one dimension, and that's that they want to take what you have, whether it's your property, your freedom, or your life. So you can't be motivated to kill or wound or destroy someone for whom you have any identification as another human being having multiple aspects of and dimensions. So empathy is hard. It's hard to extend oneself to be able to see that, to see strangers that way, and it's hard to liberate our imaginations to consider what life might look like from their perspective. And imagine how they might perceive things from the center of their lives, their perceptions, their existence, rather than just looking at it from the outside and emphasizing differences, otherness, strangeness. So enemies. And I have no answer for that either. I'm a person who has considered the evil in my own heart. Now, some people have to be stopped. Some people have to violate boundaries of one sort or another, and if they persist, they have to be stopped. It's it's just the way it is. If you can imagine a human behavior, somebody's done it. Somebody else has imagined it and tried it. So they have to be stopped. But apparently whole nations, cultures, tribes, what have you, are mobilized to behave the same way. And apparently they have to be stopped. As to whether I myself could ever feel motivated to serve in that capacity for the country of my origin, it's questionable. I think too much, or entertain too many thoughts to focus that way. Now, granted, I could if the threat was immediate, but I am trained to self-examine and I would have to perforce ask myself what I did to put myself in a situation where that was a choice I had to make. And I do that a lot, and when I hear of it happening for other people, these prison documentaries and such, where they're interviewing these inmates, and they say, I did what I had to do, and there's this pervasive pattern throughout their lives where they're always having to do what they had to do. It's hard not to ask the question, what did you do? What did you do to put yourself in that situation rather than avoid it? So, I guess for me, when confronted with whether I would be willing to take up arms against a foe and be trained to kill them, that's what I would have to look at. Am I doing something to put myself in this situation? Is there another way? Is there another way? Certainly, I can't make the decision for everyone, but obviously I need to be responsible for my own choices, and let other people attend to theirs. And that's that. I don't think a lot of people who were conscripted to fight in this country's wars were ideologically committed to the given reasons for those conflicts. I think a lot of them will tell you that their main objective was to not get killed and to get the fuck back home. And that was their commitment. And who the fuck can blame them?